Hi, I'm Ann McGough, and my persuasive topic is on mental health services and why everyone should use them. Back in the early times, since history's begun, people have neglected their mental health and have listed it as for only insane people, which just isn't true. Although the services back then were not the best and probably would not have helped you as much as they do today. In the early 18th and 19th century, however, mental health services were misused and used to lobotomize women who did not fit in and were not the standard woman of that time. Only in the late 1960s did psychotherapy become readily available for everyone, meaning you no longer had to have a doctor's note to have therapy. So that was really, really good for people who weren't insane, but needed, just that extra mental help. Today's psychotherapy is also viewed as negative. It's looked down upon. It's still thought for, insane people, just like in old times. It's often labeled as unnecessary and ridiculous, but I mean, you go to a doctor for many things, and a therapist is just a doctor for your mental health. I mean, it's usually seen as for people with real issues, which is like childhood trauma, schizophrenia, but that's not true at all. I've had someone comment this to me as a person who takes therapy, seen as only for wealthier people who can afford it. A lot of people don't realize that even government provided insurance can pay for it. They may not pay for all of it, but they pay for a lot of it. So yeah, it's not just for people who have the money to do so out of pocket. Men are usually seen as weak if they go to psychotherapy, which once again isn't true. It should not be weak to try to make yourself better. Quote from Michelle Obama: "Sadly, too often the stigma around mental health prevents people who need help from seeking it. But that simply doesn't make any sense. Whether an illness affects your heart, your arm, or your brain, it's still an illness, and there shouldn't be any distinction. We should make it clear that getting help isn't a sign of weakness." Which is so true. That's what I stated earlier. The purpose of mental health services: it can help you regulate emotions. If you have trouble with outbursts or feeling like, I should not feel this, why do I feel this? It can help you understand that and help you dial back some of those extreme emotions you may have. It can help work on yourself. We can all better ourselves and all work on ourselves. It helps you do that and try to figure out what can you make better about yourself. It can help you work through trauma you may or may not know existed in your life. I did not know that I had trauma from whenever I was younger, but whenever you talk to someone and get close to someone like a therapist and let them into the vulnerable parts of your life, those things come out. And a lot of things that affected us at a young age really forms how we are, and some of those things forms a bad behavior, and you can help work through that. Talking to someone who's a neutral party and can give you an unbiased second opinion is really, really great, because if you're having trouble figuring out something morally or anything, I mean, they're great for that. Sometimes you need someone to be able to sit you down, give you both sides, well, have you thought about how this person may feel about this? Have you thought about it from their side? It's really, really great. Helping put into perspective things in your life. I mean, if you have like a big interview or something, they can help you kind of put that into perspective in your life and just help you rationalize things and everything. Why is it for everyone? Anyone can, go out and find a therapist, and they may not suit you. But you can find a therapist if you look hard enough and, sort through some. There is a therapist out there for you that it can cater to you and understands you on a more personal level. I have a therapist who also has dealt with anxiety, and you can find some that matches, your beliefs in life, and if you're religious, you can find some that is part of your religion. It's so they can understand you better, can help you work on yourself once again. Everyone needs someone they can talk to and not feel judged. Just completely unbiased, like I said before, readily available, offered through most insurances and most schools even. Can help you better understand the world and people around you, your friends. If you can understand yourself, there's a chance that you might be able to understand people better. So yeah, we went over the history of how it used to be and the stigma around it, and how that stigma just isn't true. And you may think that the negative things around therapy is true, but it's just simply not. It can help you no matter what circumstance you're in. So that is why I think therapy is for everyone. Thank you.